Breaking the Silence is a podcast that dives into the intricate and often challenging topics of grief and loss within relationships. Through insightful discussions, the podcast aims to explore how pain can be transformed into purpose, leading to healing and growth. By addressing themes such as inner child work and the journey towards feeling alive once more, this podcast offers a beacon of hope for those navigating difficult emotions. Ultimately, Breaking the Silence aims to guide listeners towards moving forward and embracing all the blessings that life has in store as they embark on a journey of self-discovery and spiritual fulfillment. I'm your guide through this journey, Renee Wallace, and I invite you to join me as we break the silence surrounding grief and loss, transforming pain into purpose and finding hope in the healing power of storytelling.
Welcome to Breaking the Silence. I'm Renee, and I am here by myself again today. I promise this is not going to be a normal thing. Kelli will be back with me next week. But yeah, today is a solo episode. And so grab a cup of coffee or something to drink, get cozy, and let's just chat together for a little bit. I have been thinking about, we have talked a lot about attachment styles, and I am so passionate about two different things in life. First is, and they're the two things that have forever changed my life. I mean, I do not say it lightly when I say that they are life-changing, and that is why I will talk about them, right? So first is Jesus, changed my life, right? Saved my soul. Just even talking about and we say them funny, telling our stories being younger and all the crazy things, but really he honestly just transformed my life in so many ways. So of course I want everybody to know that. And, so I share that because I'm passionate about it, and I want everybody to know and experience that, and that freedom, and having a secure, eternal future. But next to that one is attachment style. It is life-changing. And so that is another one that I want everybody to know about, because I believe if everybody knew this, and if everybody took the time to learn about it and heal their inner child wounds, it just would change relationships so much. It would change everything. So, honestly, I feel so strongly about it that I seriously think it should be taught in school, or I don't know where the right place would be to teach it, because I was thinking before marriage, but then I almost thought, well, no, it needs to be before dating relationships, because although it shows up in different areas of our life, your attachment style can show up with your friendships. It can show up within family, all that stuff. But typically, I can see my kids' attachment styles, and but it really shows up in relationships, in intimate relationships is what I mean. And we can show up different ways within friendships and stuff, versus how we might show up in a relationship. So I think it almost needs to be taught in school. I was just talking with Kelli about this yesterday, and I'm I really feel so strongly that it needs to be taught somewhere. I don't know the answer, but I know I'm going to teach my kids about it. So, with all that said, that is why I share about those two things so much, and I will continue to do so. But I do sort of want to do a little story time today, and then wrap up attachment style Not for good, because like I said, I believe it's something that we need to continue to talk about. But maybe take a break from it and just go on to some other things. Just Kelli and I have a lot of things in the works, some really fun things. Because sometimes I think, well, I do think it's important. Like we need to have the more deeper, like conversations, the ones that we really need to think about and like wrestle with and, chew on or whatever. And then the fun, the fun, just the laughter. And I mean, that is even the mix of mine and Kelli's friendship. And like we can talk about the real things and, we've been able to cry together over the years and then laugh really hard and, just laugh so hard we're crying, So I want to just sort of shift gears after this one to some more fun for a little bit and then, we might end up back here. I'm sure at some point we'll end up back here again too, because I think it is an important topic. And there's also other important topics that I want to share along the way, of course, because being a single mom and all the things that come with that, raising kids on your own or going through loss and different things. There's lots of conversations that need to happen there that other moms and dads are going through that is the purpose of this. If it helps you, if it speaks life into you, if it lets you know you're not alone in this, then it's worth it. So with all that said, let's jump into a story real quick. And I started thinking about this, and I thought this might be a great way to sort of wrap things up. Years ago, before I even met Dave and we got married and all that, I dated someone, and I really liked the guy. Really, we had so much fun together. But I want to share how our wounds, when not healed, can show up. So I sabotaged that relationship. And for no good reason other than, honestly, to look back now, I can see it now, self-protection. And it really made no sense because he was a great guy. We had a lot of fun together. But my brain thought somehow in there, not consciously. So that's why I want you to understand a lot of this for the dismissive avoidance or the fearful avoidance. And anxious have their own way of, sabotaging things. It might be that instead of pushing somebody away and ruining it that way, they are so clingy and like grasping onto you that they make the other person leave because the other person is like, ugh, this is way too much for me. Like, you're way too clingy. This is just over the top or whatever. But in this instance, it was that, I sabotaged it. And ultimately, I ruined that. I take full ownership of that. And so my point in all this is that even that is why it is so important to heal our wounds, because we will continue to keep doing those things. And even if you would have asked me back then, like, I would have probably been like, I don't know why I did it. Really, honestly, I didn't. I couldn't. Of course, I didn't realize subconsciously, like, my brain was saying, you need to, like, get out of here before you get hurt, or you need to ruin this before they really hurt you, or before they figure out who you are, or whatever my brain was subconsciously telling me, like, this is never going to last anyways. People always leave. So you need to ruin it. And it really is so heartbreaking, isn't it? Like, that we can ruin or, destroy something that could be really good. And God is faithful and has a plan and all that. Don't get me wrong. Like, I know ultimately it was for my good in the end. I mean, I met Dave and I have my beautiful, beautiful family that I am so blessed and thankful for. So God uses everything for good. But we still need to heal our wounds so that those things aren't playing out. And I had the opportunity, actually, after Dave passed, that guy ended up reaching out to me, to give me his condolences and everything. And anyways, we had the opportunity to sort of talk a little bit about it. And, again, he was just like, why? Like, why? Like, he's still really, I don't want to say distraught, but sort of still upset about it. Like, why did you do that? And really, honestly, all that I could tell him, and this is me being so vulnerable and open with you all, and I hope that you can see this, it benefits you in some way, of me just being so transparent of what these wounds can look like. And it really just came down to me telling him, like, I was hurting. And this is what it is for people. Hurt people, right? And healed people help heal people. I mean, we can't do the work for them, but we can come alongside them and, try to love them through it. But I told him, I was hurting. And I really don't like the word broken, but I am going to use that here. I was just so broken inside. And, just didn't really believe that I deserved good things back then. That I wasn't good enough or worthy enough of having good things and having somebody love me. And so, and I told him, I said, the only thing I can tell you at this point is I am so, so sorry that I hurt you like that and that I did that. I can't change what I did. What's done is done, but I am so sorry. And so I share this to say, like, just looking back and to see how those patterns and how our attachment styles play out, and that it really was, had nothing to do with that person, nothing. And so I want you to hear this too. If you're in this situation, it has nothing to do with you. It is their wounds. It is them feeling defective or broken or not good enough or not worthy or they're unlovable. It has nothing to do with you. If you take anything from this, take that. So, and until each of us do our work to heal those wounds, there's really nothing else that we can do about that. So as I sort of wrap this up and wrap up us talking about attachment styles and all the things we've discussed, what I would encourage you to do is get curious. Start. I've given you guys so many resources. It is on every single social media platform. I've given you some of my favorites, and I discover new ones all the time because my algorithm totally knows, like, I love learning about attachment styles. And so I'm like constantly even discovering new creators and stuff, but it's out there everywhere. There's books for you. There's on social media. There's like YouTube, wherever you want to go, it is there. Learn about it. That is there, just learning first. And then slowly you can start to implement and build capacity. Implement small changes, build capacity. That's really what it comes down to. On the avoidance side of it is because we have this ceiling, right? Like this level of comfort. And when we hit that ceiling, that's when our nervous system gets dysregulated. So we have to learn to build more capacity. And I'm not going to go so far off track of, like, we've talked plenty about all the different ways to heal. You can go back through past episodes. You can find it all over social media. You can find it in the books. That's what I would encourage. I would encourage you to take your healing journey seriously. And it is an ongoing thing. I've said this before and I'll say it again. Healing is like an onion, and you peel back a layer, like you heal, and then you peel back another layer, and that's okay. It does get, I don't know. I'm like, yes, it gets easier for sure. Less things trigger us. The more we heal, less things trigger us, and we work through them quicker, and we recover quicker, and all those things. But yeah, I would just really encourage you to take your healing seriously, because that's where beautiful relationships will come from. And we were created for relationships. I'm actually reading a book right now talking about giving you resources. It's called The Inner Work of Relationships. And there's actually 2 books. The first one is just The Inner Work, and it is meant for just individuals. And it's so crazy. I mean, crazy. I'm just not even going to go into it, but just to read the book. And it even shows, like, for your different types of wounds, how it can show up in your body and stuff. Like the wound of trust, or the wound of violation, or the wound of rejection. And it'll show like different ways it shows up within your life, and then also within your body. And it's really, really crazy. I guess I will share. I don't mind sharing. So like I'll be honest. I've talked about this before. I have a betrayal and trust wound as a fearful avoidant, right? That is their core wounds, betrayal and trust. And I was like, I've had all these breathing issues and everything, and my problems with my sinuses and all that. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to pull out that book, and I'm going to see how like the trust wound shows up in your body. Like, wouldn't it be crazy if it said sinuses? So I go and I look up the trust wound, and it says breathing issues. I was just like, oh my gosh. If you guys do not think that your body keeps the score, that's another book you should read. I'm sorry, it does. Like, if we don't express our, we suppress all these things, they stay stored and trapped in our body, and they come out in different ways. They come out in our health. They come out in disease. They come out in autoimmune issues. They come out in breathing issues. So it just was like, oh my goodness, it all matters. Like, it does matter so much. So anyways, The Inner Work, that is a book for individuals. And The Inner Work of Relationships, it's a great book for couples to do together. But also, if you're not in a relationship, still to do on your own to prepare yourself for a relationship. One last resource I do want to share with you that I think would be highly beneficial for a lot of people. I feel like it was for me. It was huge. And that is Dr. Sarah Hensley. She does one-on-one coaching. She has other coaches in her practice. I worked with her one-on-one, and she also has hybrid coaching, which is awesome, especially, say, for example, the dismissive avoidant that maybe doesn't feel comfortable like doing necessarily one-on-one, or it's more, how would I describe it? You can stay anonymous, like you don't have to share your name or anything, but they do Zooms where you get to ask questions if you want. You don't have to share your name or anything, and other people ask questions, and it's a great way to learn from other people and their situations. And they also have the modules that you work through. So I have done both. I've worked with her one-on-one, and I've done the hybrid. I will say, I love both, honestly, because I loved really talking to her and working with her one-on-one, but I love the hybrid because I can go back to those resources and those modules and those videos over and over and over again. And also the recordings, the Zooms are recorded. So, if you can't be on there, you can go back and watch them. And even if you were on there, you can still go back and rewatch them. So I am going to check and see. And I don't get anything from promoting any of these. These are just things that I have found so helpful. And I do think Dr. Sarah is incredible, and just I've learned so much from her. But I will see if maybe I can possibly get a code for you guys. I'm going to reach out to her. And if so, I will put that in the show notes. And also, if you see this on social media, I will add it there. So, tons of resources. If you have questions about resources, please don't hesitate to reach out to me or to Kelli and ask us. And I would be happy to get those to you. Otherwise, I'm going to wrap this up, and I send you off with so much love. I love sharing this with you all. I'm so passionate about this. I hope that you find it beneficial. I believe you do. The feedback has been incredible. Watching the, numbers go up for listeners. You have no idea how much I appreciate you. This really is just, I do this because I love it. It's fun. And I get to use my voice and hopefully make a difference. And if it benefits you and blesses you in some way, then my heart is full from that. So again, I send you off with so much love. Have a beautiful day. And I promise Kelli will be back with me. Alrighty, bye.
Thank you for joining me on this episode of Breaking the Silence. As we conclude our time together, let us carry forward the stories we've heard, the emotions we've shared, and the connections we've forged. Remember, the journey through grief and loss is not one we walk alone. In the silence, we find solidarity. In our shared experiences, we find strength. And in our vulnerability, we find resilience. If you or someone you know is navigating the complexities of grief, know that there is support available. Reach out, lean on your community, and remember that healing is not linear. It's a journey, and you are not alone. Thank you for listening. Thank you for sharing, and thank you for being a part of this community. Until next time, may you find peace in the spaces between the silence. Please be sure to subscribe below and leave us a review. If you'd like to connect further, you can find me on Instagram at Coaching with Renee.